Now come to Article 16 of Indian Constitution. Article 16 of Indian Constitution tells about the duty of government for providing a appointment or a employment to the Indian citizens in equal. Article 16 tells us equality of opportunity in matter of public employment. Article 16 clause 10. There shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to employment or appointment to any office under the state. Article 16 clause 1 tells the government shall provide equal opportunity to all citizens of India in employment or appointment of any office under the state. Article 16 clause 2 tells us no citizen shall be discriminated, ineligible or discriminated on the ground of race, religion, caste, sex, descent, place of birth or a residence. These are the limitations on which state shall not be discriminated. Article 16 clause 3 tells about the power of Parliament. Parliament have power to make any law, to provide an appointment of employment to any class or classes that he want to involve or provide job to these classes. No provision of this article shall curtail the power of Parliament. Hence, Parliament is supreme in case of providing employment. Article 16 clause 4 tells us about the state also have power in case of reservation for the backward caste, because state have authority to define who is backward in his state. Article 16 clause 4a included by 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1995 provide the reservation in promotion for SCs and STs. If government find that there is no adequate representation of SCs or ST in any employment, so the Parliament can reserve the post and promote the person belong to SCs and STs at that post. Article 16 clause 4b included by 81st Constitutional Amendment Act in 2000 tells about the backlogs. Backlogs that are the vacant seat which remain vacant in the last vacancy. So state have power to fill that backlogs in next year with these categories only, and these backlogs never be included in the present vacancy. Article 16 clause 5 tells us nothing shall affect. Article 16 tells us about the no any provision of this article affect the religious matter of the state, any religion. If any religious post on without any hurdles. No one can affect this appointment. Article 16 Clause 6 included by 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act 2019. This tells about the appointment of EWS. For this, state have power to make to create a reservation for the economic weaker section in a appointment in state offices. With this, we have completed Article 16. We will meet soon with the Article 17 and Article 18. Now come to the Article 17. Article 17 and the untouchability. In past, our citizens face this discrimination, so that constitutional makers include this in a constitution and make it a punishable act if anyone follow untouchability. So Article 17, abolition of untouchability. Untouchability is abolished and its practice in any form is forbidden. If anyone practice this, he will be punished. The enforcement of any disabilities arising out of untouchability shall be an offence punishable in accordance with the law, and he will be punished with the according with the law. If any person use this, so he can be punished by a law. Now come to the Article 18. Article 18 tells about the abolition of titles, because when Britishers were here, they provided titles. So constitutional maker this article and they abolish the titles. Article 18 clause 1 tells us no title shall be conferred by a state. State कोई भी टाइटल किसी को नहीं देगी except military and academic, because these are the exceptions. Only military titles and academic titles are allowed, like Paramvir Chakra or PhD, like this. Article 18 clause 2 tells about us no citizen of India shall accept any title from any foreign state. कोई भी भारतीय नागरिक विदेश से किसी प्रकार का टाइटल एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा. Article 18 clause 3 tells us if any non-citizen hold the office of state or a trust shall not accept any title without permission of president. If there is a need to accept the title, first he or she should must be applied for the permission of president. If permission permit to take a title, then he or she is allowed to take this title, otherwise not. Article 18 clause 4 tells no person shall accept any present, emolument or office of any kind from or under any state without the consent of president. कोई भी व्यक्ति किसी से कोई उपहार नहीं लेगा, कोई ऑफिस नहीं लेगा, अगर राष्ट्रपति की सहमति ना हो। इसी के साथ आर्टिकल 18 is ended. Now meet with article 19.